Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and today we are talking a little bit about my home region. I told you we was going to start making some videos on this, and we'll start off right here with information on the region itself. Consisting of the southern Appalachians, um, the southern Appalachian Mountains. It encompasses southwest Virginia, some of northeast Tennessee, some of eastern Kentucky, and I mean, if you really wanted to, you could probably encompass a little bit of northwest North Carolina. The area itself is called the Mountain Empire because all of it's within the mountains of the Appalachians. Um, Now, the part I live in is Southwest Virginia, which, yes, once you get past Roanoke, there is still several more counties that are Virginia. The state does not end at Roanoke as everybody believes. Usually that's a joke we have around here. The state ends at Roanoke. They don't believe there's other counties out past it. Because usually you say, well, yeah, we've got stuff for South Carolina or Southwest Virginia. Oh, really? Where? In Roanoke? There are 19 counties beyond the city of Roanoke that consist of Southwest Virginia. 19. There is a lot of territory beyond the city of Roanoke. We consist of a number of places. Blacksburg, that is the hometown of the Virginia Tech Hokies. There is Abingdon. It's a really, really old town. It's had a number of people there. I think they've said even George Washington stopped there. So it's a really, really old town. You have a number of things there, but the Barter Theater, the Martha Washington Inn, that's supposed to be really, really old. There is Bristol, which sits on the border of Tennessee and Virginia. So there's literally a Bristol, Virginia, and a Bristol, Tennessee, but it's the same town. It just sits right on the border. And there's all of it, like I said, it's tucked right in the mountains. There's little stories all throughout. But again, you have other places in northeast Tennessee. You have places like I mentioned, Bristol. There is also Johnson City, Tennessee, which is the hometown of the East Tennessee State University Buccaneers. as well as the single A Johnson City Cardinals. What else do we have? Over in Kentucky, literally in about half an hour to 35 minutes away, is the city of Pikeville. And if you don't know, from Pikeville in Kentucky to Logan in West Virginia is the territory that the Hatfield and McCoy feud took place in. So literally it's 35 minutes, a 35-minute drive from here where that feud took place. So yeah, it's very familiar. What else? But yeah, you have the Appalachian Mountains. Like I said, it's the southern portion. It has the plateaus, the Blue Ridge Mountains, ridge and valleys. A lot of Scots Irish actually live. Scots Irish people of those of such descendancy of the Scots, the Irish, or the Scots Irish, which I would assume would be Northern Ireland, because at one point the English tried to move a lot of people there, and so there was a lot of Scots that moved over. But supposedly there's a lot of Scots and a lot of Irish people actually moved to this area because it apparently was so familiar looking with their home back in Scotland, back in Ireland. So there's a lot going on if you really look around here. But yeah, it's an often forgot about place. The northeast portion of Tennessee, along with the northwest portion of North Carolina, tried to become their own state at one point, known as the state of Franklin. They named themselves after Benjamin Franklin. Of course, the attempt failed, but memories of that moment still exist. One of the major streets in Johnson City, Tennessee, is State of Franklin Road. There's a lot of the major hospitals and shops on State of Franklin. So, yeah. As I said, there's a lot to the Mountain Empire, to this region. But yeah, here in my hometown, one of the biggest moments is when a girl was accused of killing her father with a high heel shoe. It garnered so much national attention. You had senators coming in from out of state, from other states, just to watch or help defend this girl. I can't remember her name right now. Um, Edith Maxwell, that was her name. If you ever want to look something up, look up the trial of Edith Maxwell. It was one of the biggest incidents in the 1930s. It happened right here. It's probably the most fame we've ever got. The town's name is Pound, but it's usually called the Pound. I was even looking at some old maps showing attempts to put railroad um, tracks through so they could reach some of the coal deposits in the region. And up at the corner of the map where Pound should be, it says the Pound. I was like, really? I mean, it's one of these maps from like the 1800s or the early 1900s. I'm like, wow. It's just it's interesting to see stuff like that. But yeah, we'll start on some stories, maybe some of the famous people from the from the region. I think there will be fun stories. It'll be interesting to know who's from here. There's a number of people who are quite famous that are from the region. But yeah, we stretch from Lee County in the corner, all up the side, the edge of Virginia, Lee County, Wise County, Dickinson County, I think Buchanan County, and then we stretch all the way over to the other side, not even hitting Roanoke. There's still 19 counties to compose of Southwest Virginia, and then, like I said, there's also information with some of the northeast corner of Tennessee, eastern Kentucky. But we'll get some of the stories out. We'll talk about some of the famous people here, some of the region, some of the mythos. You got stuff like the Trail of the Lonesome Pine. There's actually a song, Trail of the Lonesome Pine. You can look up a clip on YouTube and it has Laurel and Hardy singing on the trail of the lonesome pine. Doo, doo, doo. Look it up. It's a real thing. So apparently there was that written here. Um, there was about 4 or 5 books written by an author, Adriana Trigiani. And they're all about, they're a, not biographical, but kind of a non-fictional, I guess, or fictional view of someone growing up in Big Stone Gap. So they have like Big Stone Gap, Return to Big Stone Gap, Milk Glass Moon. I bought a number of them. They're interesting books. They even made a movie of it, starring Whoopi Goldberg and who is the other person? There was another fairly famous person in it. But yeah, there's a lot to talk about, and I hope we do. But I just wanted to kind of introduce you to the region, where it sits, what it looks like, what we have to look forward to. Because honestly, you can only continue to hear people from Southern Cal, Northern Cal all the time, or New York City all the time, Chicago all the time. These are gigantic cities. And here, it's not. But you still find out there's a lot of interesting stuff. Oh, Ken Burns recently released his documentary on country music. The highway one of the highways we travel a lot is known as the Old Crooked Road, the Country Music Highway. So, like I said, there's a lot here that I don't think a lot of people really know, and I think it's time to bring it to light. But that's all I wanted to say. And as always, read, study, think, learn, people. Use your mind. I'll see you all in the next video. But until then, later.